Boom, 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 boom. Is Umineko too quiet? Why didn't I check it before stream? Why am I like this? Also so late. Hello, by the way. This? I could do it. Should I do it? Should I do it in a game? I mean, it's great for me, but I feel like it's too quiet for stream, maybe? Maybe not. It's almost half. Okay, it's like third of how I sound. Maybe it's not the good ratio. Sorry. Umineko. Headphone. Wrong ear. Cool. It become quieter. Okay. We are on episode 9. Do you think we finishing Umineko this week? Probably. Last time we were solving the mystery for the whole of 3 hours, aren't we? And now we're just reading through clues to find out if our reasoning was correct. I remember when. In other words, the culprit is trapped in the locked room again. The theory might explain the first and the second twilights. However, the culprit would be sealed inside and not his room, unable to leave. That means they wouldn't be able to carry out the fourth twilight and onwards. Yeah, there's 2 killers, at least 3. I mean, 2 killers and Butler. Butler should have killed somebody. Yeah, I thought it's such a nice theory, but I guess it's wrong. I don't think we were wrong about this theory, but maybe it just needs some more tweaking. Scary sound. Hints. New song. Dancing pipe. No, it does work. There's a problem the culprit gets sealed up. Not as long as there's a second culprit. Multiple culprit theory. Yes, it does seem to be the only way. This way, even if one culprit sealed up, the other can continue murdering. No way. If you think about it, our theory has needed an accomplice from the very beginning. Excluding Yeji-san, who we already know to be innocent, the other 5 of the first Twilight's 6 victims, Auntie Iwa, Uncle Hideyoshi, Wild Buster, Kiri-san, and Auntie Rosa, all had their deaths confirmed by people who also haven't been confirmed innocent. Unless those people were accomplices, fellow culprits, no one would be able to play that. You're right! After all, the rules say the only culprit can cooperate with the other culprits. Culprits are capable of lying even before they commit murder, so we have ourselves a theory. The culprits who carry out the first Twilight murders also carry out the second Twilight, then lock themselves up in Natsuki's room. Then the other culprit who lied about the first culprit's death carry out with the murders starting at the first Twilight. Yes, it all matches up this way, so which of them was it? Unfortunately, so far, any one of them could be a culprit. However, we can say for sure that the crime wasn't committed by a single person, and we know that the culprit locked up in Natsuki's room was one of 5 victims of the dining hall. We also know that the person who continued with the crimes was one of those who inspected the 5 suspicious corpses of the first Twilight. One of those who inspected 5 suspicious corpses in the dining hall? That would be Butler, George, and Maria. We know that one of those 3 committed the murders later on. Excellent. Let's focus on those 3 and find truth about those later crimes. I just wanna kinda go on with the plot. The next crime is a forced Twilight. Shan-chan was the one killed. No one has an alibi, was one expectation. George. Jessica, who has been confirmed innocent, used the purple text to say that it was impossible for George to kill Shannon. So doesn't that mean either Butler or Maria must have killed her? I'd like to think that, but it's too soon to be sure. Butler, Maria, and every other person except George lacks an alibi. I'd managed to prove the crime wasn't committed by a single person, but I didn't prove that there was exactly 2 culprits. At this point in time, it's too soon to be sure. I see. In addition to the culprit of the first and the second twilights, and the culprit who lied about the first culprit's death, there might be yet another completely separate culprit as well. Yes, it was a mistake to overlook that. The murder of Shannon Chen was possible for anyone, with only one single exception. Also, the fact alone isn't enough to prove that George Yankee is innocent overall. I thought it would be easy one, since there's no locked rooms, but on the contrary, we have no suspicious circumstances and no information to lead us to the culprit. The place of crime starts picking up here. Instead of getting stuck to this one part, we should take a look on the fifth twilight too. So far it's all in line with the theory that I had last time. It seemed we have a problem with the fifth and the sixth twilights. We can trust Jessica's parole statement, and she said this: the four cousins and Nancho couldn't have killed Goren Kumasawa. The four cousins and Dr. Nancho. In other words, all of the survivors at this point in time. Thinking about it on normal lines, that would make this an impossible crime. However, there's when we can turn the chessboard over, correct? You've got it. This actually gives us a simple answer. The crime proves that there is a culprit who isn't Dr. Nanjo or the one of the cousins. Other than the survivors, everyone's supposed to be dead. And yet, it was impossible for the survivors to commit the crime. It's absolute proof that one of the culprits faked their death. And since there exists a culprit who faked his or her death, that's absolute proof that there were multiple culprits. Only a culprit can fake an examination and lie. The fifth and sixth twilights may seem to be a perfect impossible crime, but this one incident alone tells us so much. Impossible crimes are double-edged swords. They have the power to break your opponent, but they also make it possible for theories to break deep into your lines of defense. Long ago, you would surely have surrendered. How far you've come. I mean, Patricia Crimes wasn't like this though. Whatever. It's because you've trained me so well. The pair grinned at each other. They had been on the brink of death and back in many intellectual games before now. They wouldn't be discouraged by a riddle like this. Now let's move to the crimes of the seventh and eighth twilights. I think we're getting pretty close to the core of things. Yeah, let's keep our wits about us. Exciting? Situation exactly the same on the seventh twilight. Jessica's verbal statement, which we can trust, shows that the four cousins, which mean all of the survivors, couldn't have committed the crime. And yet, there's something I don't quite get. The culprit of the first and the second twilights was one of those 5 victims from the first twilight. This person was sealed in Natsu's room, but we know their child was a culprit too, who lied and examined the death of their parent. However, the only kids who can be a culprit are Butler, George, and Maria. Not Maria. That's right. We were proven that they couldn't have committed murders for the 5th, 6th, and 7th twilights. In other words, to show us that yet another culprit exists. Interesting. So it also happened to be a theory that makes sense. Plus it would mean that the third culprit was also one of those who played dead. It might even be possible to have 4 or 5 culprits this way. I'm not sure about that. At any rate, Goda Kumasawa and Nanja couldn't have been killed if there were only 2 culprits. There can be no doubt of that. This is getting complicated. Was a group of 3 culprits? Or was it a pair working together and someone else on their own? Alright, we can't forget the possibility that there are more than 3 culprits. Of the 17 people who appeared in the story, 9 have been confirmed innocent. 8 are left, and let's put Butler, George, and Maria on the side since they survived. That leaves 5 people who were supposedly dead but have not been proven innocent: Iwa, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kiri, and Rosa, and all were victims of the first twilight. Now the question is which one of those 5 victims in the dining hall was faking death. We're getting close. I'm starting to like this. You're only now starting to like this? Scroll bar starting to scroll? Oh no. As for the 8th twilight in the end, the layout's exactly the same. Indeed. The narration says that George, Butler, and Maria could not have killed Jessica. The 3 survivors couldn't have done it. The verbal statement here sounds like they have a lot of hints for us. George and Maria's verbal statement are particularly interesting. If only we could trust them, they could be quite powerful clue. If George Yankee is innocent, then his verbal statement about Maria being unable to kill anyone would be true, and Maria would be confirmed innocent. In the same way, if Maria is innocent, her statement about George being unable to kill the adult would be true, and that would consequently prove George Yankee innocent as well? It would, but we cannot confirm that either one of them is innocent. Yes, we can. If either George Yankee and Maria could prove that the other was innocent, they would be innocent too. It's like a chicken and egg dilemma. It almost feels like a useful hint, but not quite. Pretty annoying. Proving innocence of either of them probably won't be easy. At least we gotten the suspect down to a small number. From here on out, there's probably nothing left to do except check each one of them to see if they could be the culprit. You're right. Feels like we're getting to the final stretch. So, looks like they almost made it, doesn't it? I feel like plucked fish. George Maria had chicken and egg. Good one. First, let's the theory that Maria could have been a culprit. If she's guilty, then Rosa could have been playing dead. She couldn't carry out the crimes on the first and the second twilight. She could have carried out the crimes on the first and the second twilight. Then she gets locked up in Aunt Nancy's room, and Maria takes over for the following murders. It was impossible for Maria to commit any of the murders in the guest house, so the most Maria could do was kill Shannon. Which means the third culprit would be needed to the guest house murders. The third one would have to be Eva Hideyoshi, Rodolfo, or Curie. That would mean that need a fourth culprit too, right? You're right. Yeah, that's too many people. That's too many people, because the culprit in the first twilight killed 6. In order for those 4 adults to play dead, the child who chickened them would have to be a culprit too. In other words, if Maria is a culprit, we'll have to have at least 4 culprits total. If there are 4 culprits, then each of them must kill at least one person. The definition of a culprit is a murderer. In this case, things don't quite seem to add up. The 4 culprits would be also adult and 2 children. One adult is in charge of the murders in the first and second twilights. The other adult handles the murder from the guest house outwards. Yes, this is where we get a contradiction. The culprit is defined as the one who murders. That means anyone who's a culprit must commit murder at least once. Hold on. Sorry. Simply put, there are very few people that a child culprit could murder. The children could not have killed on the first twilight and the second twilight. They also can commit murders after the first death in the guest house take place. The only one they can possibly commit is Shannon's murders in the first twilight. A child culprit can only kill Shannon, here we go. A second child culprit couldn't kill anyone, so they couldn't be a culprit at all. It means there can be only one child culprit. As soon as we pick Maria as a culprit, we need another adult culprit besides Rosa. However, okay, so me and Chad was right last time. For sure. I wonder when I pick the people who committed the crime last time, it was a right route and it was just kinda gonna be confusing in the beginning. Like they're not immediately gonna confirm that I was right. However, it's impossible for there to be a second child culprit to lie about their parents' death. In other words, it's impossible for Maria to be a culprit. Yeah, we're almost done. Maria is not a culprit. Maria says that George can kill a child though, and then George is the only one who has alibi for Shannon's death, so it's not a George. So the only person who left is Butler. Butler is a guilty child and he killed Shannon, and Krauss and Curie is the one who killed everybody else. I'm still kind of I was thinking about it a little bit, and so the first culprit, which is, let's assume, is Krauss. Krauss kills all the people in the guest house, right? Then he pretends to be dead. Then on the second twilight, where people have free time to walk around, he goes and kills Natsuhi and Krauss. Oh, did I mess up names again? I'm sorry. What's his name? Oh no, he's Krauss. Is he Krauss? Hold on. Check verbal by person. Can I get... Okay, hold on. Are they gonna not count my victory if I read all the clues? So it's Rudolph. Oh my god, why am I like this? So Rudolph kills the 6 people and he trapped in Nazi's and Krause's room on the second twilight. And then at the same time, maybe Curie went out of the house, and that's how she's out of the mansion before they seal it, because she just went out before they seal it. And maybe how the hell Nanja died then? Like, she could go immediately in a guest house, right? Oh. She just... Okay. Is it that easy? She just... Okay, so she's killing Shannon. And then after she kills Shannon, she immediately goes into guest house. Because they're saying that guest house was sealed like from 5th and 6th twilight onwards, right? She was just in a guest house, maybe? Presumably? Okay, whatever. Next, let's try a theory with George as a culprit. Only one child culprit can exist, so if George Yankee is a culprit, it means Auntie Eva and Kiyoshi are the only adults who could have been playing that. So, a 3-person group with 2 adults and 1 kid. Interesting, Butler. You don't want to assume that you're a culprit? I see, that sounds like I'll explain all the crimes so far, doesn't it? But hold it, that's actually impossible too. Indeed, it's clearly shown that George cannot be a culprit. Very sharp. The only ones the kids can kill is Shannon and the first Twilight. A trustworthy purple statement, we already proven that George couldn't have been the culprit in Shannon's murder. That's it. Just one tiny alibi that only works for Shannon Chan's murder. That's what proved George Yankee innocent for all of the crimes. So we need not to suspect George, which means all of the purple statements can be relied upon. Last one? Hopefully, maybe. Once we're sure that George is innocent, that automatically makes Maria innocent too. Yeah, it confirmed George Yankee's purple statement saying Maria couldn't kill anyone. Since she couldn't kill anyone, she can be a culprit. So Maria is also confirmed innocent. Okay. Since George and Maria are innocent, it also proves that their examination of the parents' deaths were also trustworthy. That's right. Am I streaming? I am. Would be weird to just yap to myself. That's right. No one will reach a wrong conclusion when examining a body. Sorry, hold on. What? Okay. No one will reach a wrong conclusion when examining a body, and people who aren't culprits can lie. So the deaths of their parents have been confirmed, and those parents are also innocent. We've gotten rid of almost everyone. The answer is already clear, is it not? That's it? No more hints? Or... First off, there are multiple culprits. That's confirmed. These crimes would be impossible for a single person. To start, one of the adult culprits carried out the first Twilight and played death. Since we know that all of the servants with master keys are innocent, there is no way for the culprit to lock the door to the dining hall from the outside. So we know that the one who locked it did it so from the inside of the room and must have been playing that. And in order for them to play that, they need another culprit to lie when examining their death. Since Genji-san is innocent, there is only 5 suspicious victims, each examined by their respective children. So that gives us our second culprit, the child of a first culprit. And the child culprit can carry out the crimes once they start occurring in a guest house. Plus the adult culprit is sealed up in Natsuki's room, so a second adult culprit is needed. 2 adults, 1 kid. That's what our culprit group looks like. Are they not gonna tell me this explicitly? Should I just go for it? I kinda wanna read all of this and then reload and see what's gonna happen. It would be obvious by now. The name of a child culprit is a culprit group is clear. I just want to see your reaction, guys, to the culprit. Pretty much, all of the kids have been proven innocent, with one exception. And the only corpse inspections the child culprit could lie about were the inspections of the child's old parents. So the culprit group was a family of 2 adults and 1 child. Murder was a family. How sweet. So, who won 3 culprits? There is hardly any point in stretching this out further, is there? Are you not gonna, like, yap about this? Ah, come on. What a messed up answer. Looked like I was a child culprit. Even in my games, butler culprit theories were some of the most popular, aren't they? It seems so. Sheesh. Why doesn't everyone think I did it? If you're a culprit, that automatically makes your parents culprits too. There's no need to think this over anymore. We already won. There's no need for any more discussions or hints. Let's move on ahead with the answer. Okay. Is it over? What was that movie time story? She became grandma. Well done. It seems the mystery of this level wasn't enough to beat those 2 after all. Okay. No more hints? You sure? The child culprit is butler. Okay. Now we're doing sneaky shit and reloading, so game wouldn't, subtract some of my achievements. Nope. Run button. Run button. Load. This one. Okay. Identify culprit. That feels good. Feels good to be right. Confirm selection. Haha, take that. Objection. Okay. Oh! Should we test what's gonna be if we pick a visitor who came late? She's here. What if we pick somebody else? Maybe later. Somebody. Is anyone here? Oni-chan! Ah! And she flew out of a guest house sobbing. Yeah, I've already read this, but I'm gonna read it again. Was there anyone still alive on this island? When she checked out the cousin's room earlier, it had been completely empty. However, she remembered that she hadn't been seen Butler's body or George's on Maria's, which she didn't know was further this means they were safe, or whether she was about to be reunited with them as corpses. Where are you guys? Where are you? Answer me! She dashed around through the rain. Where was she going? Nowhere in particular. The lost sister dashed around the circle, searching for her brother, drenched with rain and all alone. Eventually, I thought I heard my brother's voice from beyond a bush. No, it wasn't just his voice. I heard George Nichan and Mario Nechan's voices too. I called out to the top of my lungs, but they didn't answer. But it's okay now. They're right here, just on the other side of a fence. I should even faintly see them through the fence. When I ran around the fence, I found myself standing in front of a shed or something. It must be a shed to store tools for the rose garden. The 3 of them were standing in front of the shed. Oni-chan! I cried out. My voice didn't reach them, even though I yelled so loudly. Something felt very wrong about all this. When people hear a voice, even when they pretend not to have heard it, their bodies tend to show some signs that they noticed. However, there was no trace of that in the 3 of them. Even though it was screaming so loud, I was screaming so loud, it truly didn't reach their ears. The instant I had stood that, my dash towards them slowed and came to a halt. Though we appeared to be in the same world, we were actually in different worlds entirely. It was like a TV, or was it more like ghost? Ghost? I could see them clearly, but as far as they were concerned, I didn't exist. After all, look, even if I stand right in front of them, their eyes can't see me. If I try to touch them, will I really be able to? What if my hand just goes right through? I was so scared at the thought that I could do nothing but stand here in shock, even though I was so close to them. Damn it, I don't have a clue anymore. Someone must have snuck in from the outside of the island after all. Culprit says what? and this person massacres her Shiramiya family. No matter how much we locked ourselves in, someone will always get killed. It's a work of a witch after all. Everyone, calm down. Let's calm down and think. No one exists on this island except those with a direct relation to the Shiramiya family. That doesn't make sense. After all, we just seen several murders that'd be impossible for any one of us. Well, that's true. But is it really? Maybe we just missed something. Missed something? For example. That's right, maybe someone was playing that. Since we're the only ones on this island, the culprit must be the one of us. That would mean that someone we thought was dead was actually faking. But, Aniki, that's impossible. Every one of the corpses was checked by someone. There is no way any of them were faking. I don't want to think about it, but what if one of the corpses' inspection were also faked? What I'm getting is at this. There are multiple culprits from the start. One plays dead, and the other lies and confirms that the first culprit dead. Then the culprit who played dead keeps on committing crimes, creating an illusion that some stranger has snuck into the island. Do you still suspect someone in the Ushiramiya family of being the culprit? Dr. Nanji was killed. Since he was killed, it's probably safe to say that he wasn't a culprit. And we can consider the examination performed by a doctor like him to be the most reliable. If so, then we can probably assume that the people whose deaths Nanji checked were almost certainly dead. Who did Nanji check? Genji's corpse, Krause and Natsuhi's corpses, Shan's corpse, Gono and Kumasawa's corpses. Think back to the beginning in the bodies in the dining hall. Of those 6 victims, Dr. Nanji only expected Genji-san. But didn't the rest of us check the others? Yes, but Dr. Nanji didn't actually expect them himself. What are you talking about? How the hell could their parents have survived after being killed like that? Anyway, what do you think you're saying, Georgia Yankee? Does it mean one of the parents is a culprit? That's insane! They were killed. I love Butler. He's so funny. They were killed right at the beginning, and so many of them. How can you go calling our parents on top of that? I won't let anyone, not even you, suspect and slander our parents after they've been killed like this. Our parents? Our parents? Sorry. I know my mama was really dead. So does it mean Georgia Needson parents and Butler-chan parents were the culprits? Let's stop that, Maria-chan. I must have lost it just a bit now. Georgia Needson wouldn't kill Shannon. That's enough. None of us would kill our family, right? But Shannon is not a family. So I don't think Georgia Needson would lie and say his parents were dead. Not if they were really alive. There's no way he would help out in a crime if Shannon were going to be killed. Calmly, as though answering a quiz or a puzzle, Maria spoke to George. Then, with a blank look on her face, she turned to Butler and spoke. Butler, you saw your mom and dad's corpses, right? Yeah, I saw them. We all saw them, right? Those pitiful, blood-stained... I think you're lying. Huh? Where the hell did that come from? Because that way, it all makes sense. Back in the dining hall, your parents weren't dead. One of them killed Aunt Natsuhi and Uncle Kraus, locked the door from the inside and waited in that room. The other one took over the murder after that. To break open the locked room of the guest house, they needed to have an accomplice inside. That was you. That explains everything. Enough! Stop it, Butler-kun. You too, Maria-chan. Finally, all the pieces fit together in a wolf and sheep puzzle in my head. The culprit are Butler's family. Am I right? What are you talking about? Correct. The voice came from behind Angie. She spun around, surprised. Hi! There, covered in blood, no blood still, yet wearing cheer expression were Rodolphe and Curie. Uncle Rudolph, Auntie Curie. I'm so glad you After saying that much, George realized what the words meant, and his face twisted into an expression of shock and horror. Maria wasn't surprised, however, she showed no joy at having her answer proven correct. And as for Butler, Angie saw it. Yo, Butler! Butler getting edgy and evil, a terrible expression. said she would never forget as long as she lived. Show me! Show me! Yo! It was a demon smile. Let's go! A hero's demon she's been able to look at again twisted its face in a foul grin. And the truly horrible thing was that she saw it on her brother's face. Butler is tall. What the hell? Rudolph and Yuri lifted up the guns they have been holding behind them. When you only draw a gun from one angle, so you need to match every sprite to this angle of a gun. The barrels were pointed at the forehead of George, who was staggering backwards, and Maria, who was grinning as though she didn't care what happened. Oh! Holy, those Curie and Kraus. His name is not Kraus. Those Curie and Rudolph are much more, like, fucked up and to the point than the ones who was before here. There was a flash of lightning and a crack of thunder. Nothing more could be heard. Then, as George and Maria were snapped around by the roars, the string holding them were snapped. The two dolls fell into puddles with splash and stopped moving. Dolls. Dad, Mom. All of this occurred right before Angie's eyes. Yo! They even made them a sprite. This is nice. Look at the tie between Kiri's boobs. Also, her boobs is too low compared to her body. This is a good one. Good expression, like good static. Good image. I said static. I meant dynamic. Almost. Yeah, they're laughing. Angie, who stood stunned beside them, wasn't visible to their eyes. I love the butler's expression. Good one. They guffled, overcome with laughter. Then, right in front of Angie, they started joking and complimenting each other on their kills so far. Those three hideous faces, the faces of your family, made Angie want to cry and vomit at the same time, and she felt as though she would suffocate. Angie dashed away, covering her mouth. She wanted to escape the disgusting laughter coming from her beloved family as soon as possible. Then she slipped and fell face down in a puddle of mud. Angie didn't try to get up. Based. In fact, she instead chose to cover her ears to block out the disgusting laughter that she could still hear. As she did, from the shadows of the fence and the bushes, in an inky black rose garden, several dark things slipped into sight. Angie looked around herself in surprise to see that eerie black shape had appeared from all over the garden and was slowly surrounding her. It was a crowd of people with goat heads. Their outfits were all different. Some wore suits while others were dressed casually. Hick? Why am I hicking so much? Sorry, it's really cold. My hands are freezing. Some wore suits while others were dressed casually. However, all of them were covered with darkness and all of them had goat heads. Angie, bewildered, accidentally let her hands fall from her ears, but now she couldn't hear the disgusting laughter. However, in its place, she could hear the words spoken by the ghost. Ghost? Ghosts. Curie and Rudolph are the culprits. Butler is a culprit. Butler is a culprit. Butler culprit theory. Butler's family culprit theory. Whoa, self-insert? As the ghosts continued to mumble in eerie voices, they surrounded Angie and began to draw nearer. They all pressed around her, each of them speaking of Angie's family as a culprit. At first, Everyone had joined in on the Eva culprit theory. The sole survival from Akijima has gotten almost all of the vials to herself, so the theory was only natural. Why was Ushirami Eva the only one who escaped to Kuvadorian? And why did she refuse so stubbornly to talk about what happened this day? It was decided that the Eva culprit theory explained all of this. However, when Eva died of illness, and people learned that their vast wells she had created by unscrumptious means would go to Angie, public opinion, or rather the forgers, created a new culprit theory and spread it around. It was the Rudolph's family culprit theory. If it was normal for everyone to come to the family conferences, why was Angie the only one who didn't come this time? Did Rudolph's family have some reason for not bringing the young Angie with them? They did take Butler, but he wasn't Curie's son. Then, when it was revealed in some magazine that Curie's family had close ties to a massive gangster organization, all eyes suddenly gathered on Curie herself. Then, the truth had also laid bare about how Rudolph had made a killing out of the fraudulent business practices, and almost immediately the couple became thought of as the most suspicious people on the island. Hideyoshi and Eva's company might have been rough, but it at least had operated within the law. However, the more Rudolph's company was investigated, the more drift was dug up. Dirt. Dug? What? The more dirt was dug up. Furthermore, trouble surrounding some party tickets from the time Rudolph and Curie were students was also testified too. It was clear that they were far more suspicious than Eva's family. And so, in a flash, the Rudolph's family culprit theory expelled the other conspiracy theories, including the Eva culprit theory, and regained as the greatest of all of them. It wasn't really because it was more plausible than the Eva culprit theory. They had just gotten bored of the old theory and wanted a new sensation. Exciting. The codes seemed to bend and undulate. Undulate? What? Undulate? What? The sky rapidly turned white, becoming a ceiling lit by fluorescent lamps. What the hell? The ghosts had changed completely, becoming the shapes of girls wearing goat masks. All of the girls were wearing the same clothes. Damn, that's how I look. It was a uniform. The uniform of St. Lucia Academy. Did you hear the real culprits for Rudolph and Curie? Oh, I heard that. Yeah, I knew there was something suspicious about them leaving their kid behind. Didn't Shiramiya say herself that she was being poisoned to death? Isn't it obvious who was behind it? Must be nice to her. She gets her whole family riches all to herself, right? I always knew Rudolph's family culprit theory was right. I always thought there was something strange about Shiramiya-san. We always thought she was weird. Rudolph and Curie did it. Wasn't Butler part of it too? Rudolph's family culprit theory. Rudolph and Curie were the culprits. They tried to get the family vows all to themselves, but they failed at the hands of Eva. But in the end, Ushiramiya Angie gets everything anyway, doesn't she? Rudolph and Curie are the culprits, of course. Rudolph's family culprit theory. Rudolph and Curie and Butler did it. Rudolph and Curie and Butler did it. They say your family did it, Ushiramiya-san. What do you think of that? Come on, tell us. But in the end, you get all the family vows to yourself, don't you? Even in the end, Ushiramiya Eva never told you anything, right? I always knew there was something wrong with that girl. This also explains why Eva hated you so much. Hey, say something. Tell us what you think. She really is a creepy kid, isn't she? At least say something about what you think of her theory, you sicko. You sicko? A blade of air swept over me as I crouched down, holding my head. Love the transition? In a flash, the illusion of goat-headed girl students who were surrounding me shattered. I was curled up in a puddle in a rainy rose garden, surrounded by goats. But then those goats were also sliced in half, and the upper half slid to the side. It was like seeing a master swordsman slicing through a stick of bamboo. This way. The voice came from that black cat. The black cat was a bell that was guiding me here. Incredible that it can talk. But it doesn't matter now. I dashed after it. No, Angie, it's gonna bring you to even worse parts of the story. The goat shrunk back. A hole opened up in encirclement. The black cat dashed through it. As I hurried through after it, the ghost began to chase after me. Countless heavy footsteps thundered behind us. Where are we running to, Mr. Cat? The cat ignored my stupid question. Where are we running to? It's obvious. As far away as we can make it. However, there were an unbelievable number of goats. It wasn't just a group chasing us. There were probably goats hiding throughout the rose garden, and everywhere we went, a group of them would appear and block our path. Each time we bumped into them, we ran down a different path in this maze of a rose garden. So I didn't even know which direction we were running in anymore. It couldn't be that we are just running around in circles inside a massive crowd of goats, couldn't it? We ran into an arbor once more. I learned that my fears were justified. The 4 paths that led from arbor were all blocked by a crowd of goats. Of course, the path that we had come down was also blocked by our pursuers. There was nowhere to go, nowhere to return to. We were finally trapped. Mr. Cat, what should we do? We are surrounded. With a defensive posture, the black cat glared at the goats that surrounded us. It's all over for us. At this moment, I find myself floating in the air. Peter Pan style? A massive arm, large enough to crush my entire head, has grabbed my collar from behind. No, not Peter Pan style, okay. Before I could even try to cry out, I saw right in front of my face a pair of strangely glowing red eyes and a massive mouth with jagged teeth and a full breath. Does goats have teeth like this? The mouth open wide and breathing as though it was a separate creature. A disturbing tone stuck itself out. Kinda hot. Then it sparked words at me. Words. Rudolph, Curie, and Butler are the culprits. Rudolph and Curie played dead, and Butler lied when he inspected them. Then one of the parents carried out the murders until the second twilight and hid under a bed in Nazi's room. Butler killed Shannon and then assisted to the murders in the guest house. The other parents carried out the gruesome guest house murders. This is the truth. Then, that gaping, smelly mouth slowly began to close over Angie's head. Counter. It's possible to form a logical theory other than Rudolph's family culprit theory. A blue flash sliced off the top of the mouse that was trying to eat Angie's head, sending it flying. Is she here? I fell into a puddle along with a goat that was still grasping my collar through there was nothing left over just above a jar. Without any hesitation, the goat stretched out their thick arms as though this was their chance to snatch his prey for themselves, and they rushed towards me. All of them spoke in unison. Everything except Rudolph's family culprit theory is impossible. Absolutely impossible. It's Lenore? Who is it? It's possible to form a logical theory other than a Rudolph family's culprit theory. For example, George family. For example, a theory with George's family as a culprit is possible. A red flash and a blue line became blades of wind that passed over my head. I flew at the goat that had tried to pick me up and sliced both its arms off like a knife through butter. I think the net ghost dashed, not towards me, but towards the black cat that was protecting me from behind. As I sat in my bed staring up at the rainy night sky, the mass of goats were in the air right above me, fighting the black cat, or someone. George family culprit theory is impossible! George can kill Shannon! Sorry. So he can't be a culprit, and he can't fake when checking corpses. No, it's possible. A culprit is defined as one who murders. It never says that they have to murder someone who appears in a story. Ooh! In other words, if George committed murders outside the island sometime before the crime, he could be a culprit without killing anyone on the island, and it would be possible for him to lie. Cool. The deep red curves cut by the swing bit into the goat. Its massive body was knocked into the air, became a bundle of roughly 7 lungs of flesh, and was thrown into a rose bushes. Hold on a second. I need to reposition myself. Oops, sorry. I was sitting on my legs. Oh, and now they kind of like, with no blood in them. Really nice. Its massive body was knocked into the air, became a bundle of roughly 7 lungs of flesh, and was thrown into the rose bushes. This time, the terrible force of the attack shocked the goats. They faltered, shook, stepped back. Finally, I understood the red slice. It had come from a weapon that could draw red trails. No, it can also draw blue trails just a second ago. I must have said that could speak both types of truths, red and blue, at will. Okay, it is her. I looked up in the sky and let my hand hang down backwards. Hi! Yay! Yippee! Yippee! My beloved is here. How is she doing? Oh, I missed her. I missed her so much. It was a girl holding a large sit. Sit? I don't know. How's that? Oh, is she here? Hi, Furudo Erika, the witch of truth who made a comeback from the depths of oblivion. She's a rare anomaly, being at once a detective, a human, and a witch. Once again, she will serve your master Bercastel in your scheming. Oh, okay. How's that? A reduction like this is a trivial for Furudo Erika. A stir passed through the crowd of ghosts as they acknowledged the presence of a girl who called herself Erika. It was clear her mere existence was potent enough to unsettle them. Clutching me in her arm, Erika leaped into the air and landed as light as a feather on top of the arbor. Does Erika and Angie met each other before? No, right? Then she let go of me and, still wielding her seat, made an elegant curtsy to the crowd of ghosts surrounding us. This is probably the first time most of you have met me. No! Allow me to introduce myself. Hello and good day. I am Furudo Erika, the detective. Let's have the blowheads who can only think about those family culprit theory step down. If anyone thinks they can counter my argument, please feel free. Naturally, I welcome the challenge. The goats all howled at once. It seemed to be a cry of shock, of fear, or possibly of wonder. The goats surrounded the arbor, chattering but not moving any closer. None of them had the courage to stand against the detective, the witch of truth called Furudo Erika. Good grief! All those thousands, and this is the best you can do? None of you has the courage to fight Furudo Erika in a battle of words? Too bad. Let's put an end to this. Then again, I am the great Furudo Erika. I don't have the time to waste on countering all of you blockheads one by one. I'll let her clean up the rest. You're up. Then Erika cried out, red cracks open in the dark night sky. Eva Beatrice, they look like a spiderweb-shaped fissures that appear when a glass window has been struck hard. No, it actually was a spider verb, colored blood red. Giggle giggle. A laugh, a witch's laugh, ran out through the spider verb covered world. It sounds somehow familiar to Angie. Familiar. And there, standing above the spider web, gazing down on the goats who must have looked like ensnared little bugs, was a witch. Why would she be here? You forget me, and you call him the ruler of Rikijima? You forget me, and you call Rudolphus the culprit? It was a witch who lurked inside of Eva, the witch of the future, who would one day call herself the endless witch of the catbox closed over this world. Who dare speak of the murders on the island without involving Eva Beatrice? How impertinent. On this island, who lives and who dies is totally up to me. And the wealth and gold is mine. Everyone... Hello, Butter. Everything about October 4th and 5th of 1986 is mine to do with as I please. It all belongs to me, Eva Beatrice. It wasn't her voice. It was her wandering stuff at the crowd of foolish goats beneath her and sentenced them to death. Sentenced. The spider-verb ceiling covering the heavens plummeted, and most spider-verbs seeped out of the ground at the goats' feet. Then the web from above and below met. 1,000 upon 1,000 of goats were caught up in a gasp. Garp. Then, as Eva swung her staff, it swirled, around and around like an egg yolk being mixed in a bowl. Eventually it was all packed into a massive blood-red lump of goo. The mounds of goats drifted out from the inside. This entire crowd has been compressed into a meatball a few meters across. So you must doubt that I'm the culprit? Reaching the Eva culprit tier and giving up here is good enough for the likes of you. Why don't you just get crushed and disappear forever? Forever? Is this a pun? Did she just... No way. Squelch? No other words could do that sound justice. After sucking in all of those goats, phrasing, the spider-web ball, oh no, vanished, I'm sorry, into thin air with a squelch. Squelch? Squelch? After that, there wasn't even a trace left. Only the nighttime scenery of the rose garden remained silent, but with the sound of a falling rain. Eva drifted down from the sky. Hi, honey. Your aunt will always be on your side, Aunt Angie-chan. I'll never let anyone insult your family. Aunt Eva! I knew I should be grateful, and yet it truly wasn't easy for me to believe that Aunt Eva was my ally. Eva realized this too. Don't worry, I'm not doing this because I want to be thanked, but I'll always be on your side. See you later. Eva giggled, spun around, and vanished. Now that she was already left, I started to regret not saying even thank you. So I figured I should at least thank the other person who saved me. Thanks for saving me. Who are you? I already knew her name. What I really was asking was why she has saved me. I am Furuto Erika, the detective. I'm also a witch. A witch? A witch of truth. A witch who searches for the single truth. And you're the same, aren't you? Those 2 days, October 4th and 5th, 1986, I was so desperate to know what happened that I took a step off the roof of the skyscraper, drifted through several witch games and fragment worlds, and abandoned myself on this long journey with no rewards. Okay, Angie is in a coma. All I want is to know what happened this day. All I want is a single truth of that day. Looking for someone like this is what makes something a witch of truth. So you're just the same as me. That's why I came to save you. I want to know just what happened on this day. No one will tell me. No one knows. But I know something happened that day. I'll give up anything to learn what was this. That's the one thing I need to know no matter what, even if it kills me. So tell me, do you know the answer? What happened on this island? To a witch of truth. Is a truth something that is given? If I told you that such and such was the truth, would you really just accept whatever I said? No, I wouldn't. Then what did Butler-san show you today? Today, Oni-chan showed me a bizarre Halloween party. It may have been heartwarming and a lot of fun, but it definitely wasn't the truth. Didn't Butler-san show you that saying that it was the truth? It isn't. That couldn't be the truth. Sometimes other people will try to mislead us by claiming they know the truth, but the real witch of truth must continue to pursue the single truth without being led astray. This is why you can't accept the fake truth that Butler-san trying to force on you. You care about finding the one real truth more than anything. Yeah, Oni-chan is trying to muddy the waters. It felt that this whole time, even though he knows everything about what happened this day, he won't tell me anything at all. How is he any different from Aunt Eva, who mocked me and refused to tell me anything even until the very moment of your death? Why won't Oni-chan tell me? Why? Why won't he tell me? The demon inside my heart burst. Why won't Oni-chan just tell me what really happened? Why? I'm the only one who doesn't know. No one tell me the truth. Tell me. Tell me what happened that day, Oni-chan. Oni-chan. I cried out at the rainy night sky. Tears poured from my eyes, but they were covered by the cold rain that beat against me, so no one other than me would know what they were tears. Typical. No one would know my pain and sadness. I'm always the only one left out, all alone. Someone tell me what happened this day. No one can tell you. After all, truth is something you can only grasp on your own. Where is the truth? How can I find it? Everyone's hiding it. They won't tell me. I'll grasp it myself. So please, just tell me where the truth is hidden. Very well. I can tell you. As that voice rang out, a world bent and swirled. After blinking several times, I realized that the world has become a sea of stars. No, that's not quite right. There are stars here in the sky, but those lights below me aren't stars. There are lights from building windows, street lights, car lights. I was floating in a dark sky over a city lined with skyscrapers. I can't tell you what the truth is. However, if it's a question of how the truth can be reached, I can show you the way. Various bad memories are jumping at me from back of my mind. That's right. I was chasing a place in that strange theater thing and forced to watch a repulsive fragment where mom and dad committing murder. I never said that what you saw was the truth. But you used the red to... You yelled out and interrupted and stopped me from saying anymore. This is all truth of a sort, but not a necessary true. That's what I was about to say. Just how far are you willing to go to mock me? I apologize, but I did want to test you. Test me how? I wanted to see if you were ready to accept the truth, no matter what it may be. The truth can betray you sometimes. In fact, there are times when it shows itself as a thing you desire least. That fragment I showed you was probably the worst imaginable for you. However, you aren't fit to read the truth unless you have the strength and the courage to withdraw it, even if it's something like that. I have no comebacks. Finding the truth is my goal. I just want to know what happened on the island on this day. I don't think of myself as wanting to hear only the facts that are pleasing to me. Have I really been prepared to face the bloody, unbearable truth that's probably waiting here for me? If I find the truth, it'll mean having to confront my family tragic end directly and accept it as it is. And accepting that means abandoning any hope for that convenient miracle. The idea that one of them might have survived somehow and might return even though 12 years have passed. Even though I know a miracle like that would be completely ridiculous, if I'm honest with myself, I had to admit that the faint hope it brought me has given me comfort this past 12 years. I want to know the truth, but I want one of them to come back. Those two wishes contradict each other, wishes. By learning the truth, I'll be forced to accept that no one coming here. The truth is always cruel. At times, it can even cut down your hopes. Most of the time, humans don't realize the cost of learning the truth. I simply wanted to tell you if you had the necessary resolve. I must choose between my two contradicting wishes. Will I find the truth and abandon my optimistic hopes for the family return? Or will I give up on the truth and keep waiting for the family that'll never actually going to come back, deceiving my numb self forever with a childish illusion my brother provided for me? Tell me, Angie, are you truly determined to learn the truth? I am. And your resolve will not falter? It won't. After hearing my immediate reply, Bracastel stared at me. At those expressionless eyes of yours, measuring my resolve? Now that my brother had even gone to the lengths of becoming the game master to cover up the truth, the only thing I can rely on in my search for the truth is the past that Bracastel can show me. Deep in your eyes, I see the glint of the one who seeks the truth. Will you tell me? Will you show me the way that leads to the truth? Yeah, I'll guide you. Did you forget, Angie? I am your guardian, I am not? Am I not? When did I last hear Bracastel use that word? That's right, at the very beginning I met her in the future world and became a witch, with her as my guardian. That's when I became the Beatrice of 1998, the one who could defeat the Beatrice of 1986. You were the Beatrice of 1998. Angie Beatrice. I became your guardian and recognized you as a witch. However, you aren't an endless witch like Beata, the Witch of Truth. That's right, you're like Erika, the Witch of Truth who will seek the single truth undeceived by any illusions. As a Witch of Truth, Angie Beatrice has the power to reach the single truth, right? Yeah. However, up until now, you have been unable to use this power. Do you know why? I do know. Even as I sought the truth, I consciously resisted finding it out. Exactly. I love Bracastel stares like in empty space. Exactly. Finding the truth is your goal, but at the same time you were unconsciously afraid that learning the truth would mean losing that miracle of your family coming back. So you didn't have what it took to stretch your hand out to the single truth. You're completely right. I have to admit that I was naive. I must admit it. My entire family is dead, and with recognition of that fact, I must expose why they died and who was behind it. Thanks. The fragment you showed me in that dark theater was here to open my eyes. Many games have gone by, waiting for you to become the true Witch of Truth, but I think there was a purpose for it all. After all, now, in this final game, you become a Witch of Truth. Tell me, what happened on this island that day? I want to ask you to tell me directly, so guide me. What can I do to reach the truth? Truth counter? It's a bit too chilly here. Let's move. To where? To a place better for drinking tea. Guru, 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 guru. Uh-oh. Meow meow. Massive applause filled the hall. It was applause in honor of a good fight. Applause in honor of Bercastel. Yes, Lady Bercastel's game was another splendid one. We're going to reveal her game board to all of you, so have a go at it. It's pretty awesome. But you solved it in the end, all the same. A game is not a game that no one can solve isn't a game. The main point is whether it was fun or not. It was fun. I guarantee it. Same here. At first I thought there was no way anyone could solve it, but the way you use one confirmed puzzle statement after another to narrow down this aspect makes for a nice puzzle. It was okay. Come everyone, gather around, gather around! Just what sort of game Lady Bercastell's mystery? That's for you to find out for yourselves! I mean, as understandable as Angie Journey is, the amount of time she interrupted someone with "I want the truth" or "you mocking me" is funny to say at least. Oh, did you saw the part where Bercastel telling Angie to the red truth she told about the world where Curie and Rodolphe are the culprits is not the true one? Is not the real truth? Yeah, okay, good. Objects resembling chessboards were set on several tables. Crowds gathered around each other, looking down with interest. Haha, it's like a logic puzzle. Quite an orthodox one, don't you think? So, this is what a witch's game is like. Looking at it like this, it's just a game. But for a pieces, it's a massive series of crimes. Indeed it is. It would not do to waste such a rare gift from Lady Bercastel. Let us take this opportunity to enjoy ourselves. Still, this is a tough one. It almost makes you wonder if it was even made to be solvable, doesn't it? You can get anywhere unless you start by believing it was made to be solvable. I mean, somebody already solved it, so what else do you need? The battle of wits can't begin until you trust the questionnaire that the problem can be solved. And we'll guarantee that it can. Come on, have a go at it. With Butler's encouragement, discussion over Bercastel's mystery game began at each table. The mix of humans and fantasy creatures in heated discussion was truly a sight to behold. Yet when Bercastel sat in a chair, ran off from the discussions. Would you like some tea? Any kind of calming black tea for me. With milk, if you don't mind. As you wish. Is there anything you need, Lady Bercastel? Please add some dried plums to some black tea. That's the trick to making terrible tea drinkable. What was a dried plum in alcohol? Looking at this, it's just a game. Puzzles around too, now with the rest of the characters. Oh no. Come now, don't sulk. We're honestly complimenting your game for being such a fun one. Since she had emerged victorious in a game Bercastel had put all her heart into, the look on the other's face was positively gleeful. I'm not sulking, my face just looked this way. When I managed to spur Burn's own kind of warmth and expression of hers, I feel like I've climbed on the pitch black top of a snowy mountain and found the most beautiful star. Cool. Well, sorry for having an eternally frosty face. How difficult it is to compliment Lady Bercastel. No matter what you say, she always takes it in a bad way. That's okay. She's the kind who'll think about it for an hours later on. The type who lies in bed thinking about it and hugging her pillow. That's a great character type. Yup, that's Baron. That's totally Baron. Beata and Delta Gil together. Bercastel shrugged and looked away. Seriously though, this really was a fun, puzzling game. Was it? Thanks. Even though you could have made it unsolvable, you really did make it to be solved. That's not something you can do unless you plan on enjoying the fair game. I like games where I win no matter what. Games that I may lose are just a pain. Later I'd like to switch sides and try another one. I'll make a puzzle and we'll see if you can solve it. Oh no, a game for you to win against me. Of course I'll use all the know-how I've picked up in my fight with Beata to make it super hard. I'm gonna be aiming to win 2 in a row. Holy shit, the first time ever I see know-how being written in a sentence? Damn. That's real. Both you and Beata, you have such an interesting way of thinking. How's that? A game is just meant to decide who wins and who loses, right? When you create one, your own victory should be your highest priority. So why would you go to all the trouble of making a game you might lose? Because still never heard of game design? It's fun. What fun is there in a game you always win? It's not even a game. Victory and defeat. It's fun because you're taking part in a fair competition. Balance between those two outcomes. A game isn't a fight. It's communication. You enjoy the process. And if you manage to win, well, that's just an added bonus. Finally. Finally, I clearly understand the difference between how all of you think and how I think. What difference? For you, this is communication. It isn't for me. The world you live in must be pretty savage. And what about you? Wasn't it the same for you until you understood Beata's game? An eternal game was eternal torture. You already completely forgotten about the pain you suffered? There were days I did think that, but the game is over now. At the end of the game, I don't complain about stuff that's in the past. What happens on the field stays on the field. That's a critical difference between you and me, I think. Your eternal torture was something you could laugh off and forget. Mine wasn't nearly so trivial. That's all there is to it. I don't know your history. It sounds like you had it rough. To think I'm getting sympathy from a promoted piece. I must be losing my touch. Ricastella, sipping the back tea that Genji had brought her, gazed up at the ceiling with a faraway look. Butler may not have known her history, but even he was able to understand a bit of how she felt. Are you being tortured by someone right now? Whoa. Are you kidding? I'm as free as I can be. I'm not bound by anyone's shackles. Then that's a good thing, isn't it? At least things are better for you now. True. It's much better than how it once was. Though I'm on this long, endless journey to escape from boredom. Then, at the very least, your encounters here should have been a good thing for you. Indeed. Even the taste of defeat has driven boredom away from me for a time. Both Butler and Burn. This is what the games mean or are for me. Meanwhile, soon Kid on the other side of the world opening up the NES with the Super Mario Brothers, and so it begins. Damn. I like the part that when Butler says that he thinks of Beata's torture is like something that happened in the field. That's super funny. No, Butler was shaking his head and laughing, shaking my head. We are friends who enjoy fighting in a fair game. So? In your days filled with nothing except running away from boredom, feel free to drop by our place every now and then. We'd love to welcome a friend. And we'll spare no effort in setting up the entertainment needed to help a friend escape from boredom. You think you can prepare entertainment interesting enough to help me, the great Burkastel, escape boredom for even a night? Yeah, like charades! Have you tried charades, Burkastel? I do. That's what it means to be a friend. Shaking my head. We won tonight's game, so the next time you come, we'll switch sides. This time we'll entertain you with one of your games. Of our games. Of course, we don't intend to let you win easily. Jenga? Uno? Twister? We'll challenge you into the devilishly twisted logic game. They gotta play Monopoly. It won't be something you can solve in a night. It'll be good enough to make you stay for months, racking your brains over it. Oh, you can play endless Monopoly! They can! Holy shit, they actually can. You won't entertain the great Burkastel as a friend? Yeah, I would. After talking with you. Even the dried plum tea is starting to taste sickly sweet. What a pain. I heard from Beato, sounds like a dried plum tea stuff is one of your favorites. Next time we'll top some high-class dried plums covering in gold leaf into your tea, so make sure you come again. If you really plan to do this, I suggest you find some better tea to start with. Tea like this doesn't inspire me to pay you a second visit. Come on. Guess you drink high-rate black tea all the time. Alright, the next time, why don't you invite us to somewhere we can drink some of this high-quality tea? Butler doesn't know that Bergastel is trying to fuck up with his sister right now? Yeah, Baron, the hardest of game, Monopoly! Me? Invite you? It's only fair, right? We've treated you. Now it's your turn. Yeah, it will be only fair. So let's have the game be fair too. Let's switch sides and start a new game. I'm looking forward to it. We won this time, but who knows about the next? That's some confidence you have here. And yet, I'm afraid you're mistaken at one point. What's that? The game isn't over yet. I wonder who will win in the end. After taking one receipt of your black tea, Bergastel had laid your cup on the table, wearing a thin smile. Thin? The tea here is far too sweet to drink. Thank you, Genji. Take this away, please. As you wish. Bergastel asked for your tea to be taken away after taking only 2 sips. Butler smiled, realizing that this was just Bergastel's way of being shy. Is it? Dot? Alright, Bern, let's do this. The duel for all of the ages. Tic-tac-toe. Oh, I thought you were gonna say, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. Because of the duel. Couldn't escape the tic-tac-toe mentions. Butler! Why are you smiling with such a foolish, carefree face? If you really think this final game will be nothing but a happy epilogue, then I have to invite you all to a proper game for bringing this tale to close. Butler, you forget things too easily. Don't you remember in whose hands lied the key to this final game? New chapter? No. Really? The inside of my nose itches. Whoa, I've never gained consciousness to a smell before. Really? Huh, you never fainted. Huh, okay. Slowly, I open my eyes. Wait, when did I lose consciousness in the first place? I don't remember going to sleep or falling unconscious. That's right. Bergastel invited me to come to a place better for drinking tea. That's when my memory gets hazy. And since the smell of black tea is what woke me up. Where am I? I wrote a study. I hate to admit it, but your taste in tea really is excellent. I was sitting on what appeared to be a sofa in a dimly lit study. Bergastel sat across from me, and right before my eyes was a beautiful cup filled with steaming hot tea. Isn't this place... I remembered. I've been here before. Wasn't it... How pleasant it is to see you again, child of man. Yeah, that voice. Just hearing it brings back memories. Long time no see, my master. I didn't think it would get a chance to welcome you into my study again. To think that that game of yours is still continuing. It won't be continuing much longer. This is the end, the true final game. This was the study of Frizerlina Augustus Aurora. They have all stars here, okay? Frizerlina Augustus Aurora is a majestic witch of theater-going drama and spectacle. Oh! Eva Beatrice is here. Where is she? The majestic witch of theater-going drama and spectating. She has tired of life after 1,000 years and constantly repeats cycles of life and death. In the past, she served as a master for numerous games as a legendary witch, but her legend, glory, and memory have already disappeared into a past and been forgotten. Only the solemn medal she wears on her chest retains those memories. The horseshoe-shaped object floating around her head is a memory aid device. It records her name, appearance, and other aspects of her personality. She is so old that she would not be able to preserve her own individuality without this. Okay, cool. Eva Beatrice, the witch who survived the witch legend serial murder case and inherited the name of Beatrice. She uses your culprit theory to refute all other theories that exist regarding the cat box. At the same time, she can use your culprit theory to create endless strategies for yourself as a culprit. Perhaps she could be called the lead to the cat box, separating the insides from the outside. Of course, she knows its contents. Oh! She knows its contents. That's interesting. This was the study of Fazerline Augustus Aurora, the majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. Once in the past, I was summoned by her in order to be her reader, or Mika. Don't tell me you want me to read again. I wasn't the one who called you here. My Miko brought the two of us together. For what reason? Isn't it obvious? To show you the paths that lead to the truth. You'll show me the way, Fazerline? I am the witch of theater-going. No dislike interfering with the actors on the stage. So between Butler's boring play and my exciting one that manipulates the branches of fate, which one would you rather watch? I know you can't stand even a minute of boredom. As Fazerline rocked her rocking chair, she looked up at the ceiling and chuckled. She clearly holds some key to the truth, I think. And yet, you are literally the one holding the key. I can do nothing but tell you where to find the keyhole, child of man. I don't remember saying anything out loud, but Fazerline answered my question as though I had. Come to think of it, that's right. Fazerline can read the thoughts of a mere child of man like me as easily as she can hear me speak. Oh no! Don't think about it! Oh no! Well, I guess they'll help us to get to the point quicker. Oh no. Onichan gave me this key, but he just said something about how I'd know how to use it when the time was right. He didn't tell me what it was actually for. To you to know? What is this key for? Onichan said it was something very precious. Explain, Mamika. No way. You explain. You demand that your master explain? You've got to participate on the stage every now and then, otherwise you just go senile all the faster. My. And yet, the memory of my long overdue appearances on the stage when Angie was reader should have been enough to last me a few more centuries. Tell me, what is this key? A physical manifestation of the decision you are to make. This tale, this game, will end by asking you to make a certain decision. What you hold here is the act of your decision embodied in form of a key. Oh my god, it is visual novel. They can know what I think. Quit thinking of a blank page. Stop thinking. If you must think of cats, that never fails. This reminds me of this old movie that I don't remember the name, where there was like a psychic of children that could read your mind, and the main guy of this movie was like constantly thinking of a brick wall, and there was really pretty, not pretty, but like interesting sequence that they would show his face and they would show a brick wall, and when a child goes into his memories, the brick wall would explode. I don't remember even the name of this movie, but I remember the brick wall exploding as if it was yesterday. I don't know. It left an impression. Sorry. What you hold here is an act of your decision embodied in form of a key. The physical manifestation of my decision? Exactly. Ultimately, Butler is probably planning to put you in front of two doors, both of which can be opened by the key. Then he'll ask you to choose which door to open. He must have told you that much, right? He didn't tell me anything at all. He just kept saying things like, you'll know when the time comes. No one will tell me anything. Not Onichan, not anymore. Butler probably wants to respect the decision that you make by your own free will. But Angie, you should at least start to figure it out by now, right? Figure out what? There's an answer Butler wants you to choose, isn't there? Those words make my heart jump in my chest. I've been thinking that Onichan is clearly trying to distance me from the truth, to gloss over it with a vague tale that's almost like a daydream. Or, Angie, he just wants you to live a normal, sane life. Like, why are you so bad-faced to him? Whoa. I see the next time I meet a mind reader, I think of exploding brick wall. Got it. No. You don't. You need to think of a brick wall, and they will explode. If they will explode it, then you failed to think of a brick wall. That's how it worked. In the 1986 family conference, everyone had a wonderful time as they faded away. Everyone is smiling down on you from heaven, so you don't need to feel alone, even in 1988. So give it your all and live on by yourself. I get the very strong sense that Nietzsche is intending to end it just like that. And every time I ask him about it, he dodges the issue and says something about how the decision will be mine in the end. That's right. It may appear that Butler is giving you a fair choice, but he's actually scheming to get you to choose one of the two answers. You've already seen a farce of a tale he's using to do that, right? That unbelievably bizarre Halloween party. Everyone's so strangely friendly that it's almost sickening. I've already seen more than enough of this tale, so sickly sweet it makes me want to vomit. Where Richard Makins showed me with affection, where his children swore to support each other, where everyone was filled with happiness and hope. He's trying to trick me with those chummy scenes so he can keep me away from the truth. Angie, didn't you, literally watch every previous fucking game? What is wrong with you? You know that he's your brother. He wants what's best for you. I mean, you may disagree with his decision and still want to learn the truth even after this, but you at least should know better than to go with a fucking Bercastel and Aurora who was repeatedly trying to fucking kill you and kill him and kill Beato and all of that, no? He's trying to trick me with those chummy scenes so he can keep me away from the truth. He's such a coward, is he? Certainly, he might be called a coward from your perspective, but remember, if you are a player in this game and Butler is a game master, what does it mean? In the past, Butler was a player and Beato was the game master, and they each fought of their own respective truths. So, what is it this time? I'm a player, and Onichian is a game master. She's just an edgelord, obviously. She kinda is! What the hell? Could it be that I've misunderstood everything from the very beginning? Oni-chan said he'd tell me what happened that day, so I was under the impression that I'll learn everything if I followed him. I mean, it's not the end yet. How would it be any different than, say, Oni-chan accepting everything Beato said about the crime being the work of a witch? What a stupid mistake I've been making, are you? This game has always been a fight between me and Oni-chan. I'm surprised you participated in a game without realizing that. Butler really is sly. He just started up the final game without letting you realize that a simple fact. Well, it was the same back in Beata's game. Butler was drawn into her game before he knew what was happening, before he knew how to fight. That's why I taught him how. It's exactly the same now. You were forced to start this game before you understood anything about it, and I've come to tell you the truth, to tell you who you're fighting against, and for what. I was too shocked to speak. Oh my god, aren't you? And finally, I realized what I need to do what I need to accomplish in this game. I've always been passive. I was sure that Onichian would tell me everything, so I naively thought I just had to believe whatever he said. No, that was wrong. This game is a battle between me and the one who wants to reach the truth, and Onichian who wants to trick me and chase me out into 1998 where I am all alone. You really think so? You didn't learn anything? At all? At the time, I've kept on saying that Onichian was foolish and naive, and now I see that I was more naive than anyone else. Despite this, Bercastel didn't sneer at me. On the contrary, she looked at me with a cold gaze as if to say, you're finally taking the first step. Now do you understand? Your own purpose is the purpose of that key. I gripped the key that Onichian has hung around my neck, and for a while I shook with the emotion that even I couldn't understand. Now Now that I know Onichan tricked me, it would be easy to hate him. He didn't though! He didn't! But hating him would be missing the point. I mean, after all, this is a game between me and him. Onichan had done nothing but make the optimal move to win against me. If games aren't just a playful way to communicate, what is this soundtrack? If they are the process that decides who wins and who loses, when there can be no fair games, the best strategy is obviously to hit your opponent with a sneak attack and defeat them before they know what's going on, and never ever telling them the rules. In that sense, Oni-chan hasn't done anything wrong. He's using this sticky sweet illusion to trick me and force me into a lonely future. They'll be the only ones having a good time in the cat box, and I'll be the one chased out. What the hell? They all dead! Thank you. I'm grateful. I think I'll finally be able to truly open my eyes. Excuse me, they're not even dead. They were blown out by the fucking bomb. Like, woo. What is wrong with you, Angie? Please don't hate Butler. Better doesn't make it better. Please. No. Sorry? Sorry. Oops. Please don't hate Butler. After all, one-sidedly tricking the opponent is what game masters do. No, they don't! I know. Onichan took the better option from his position. That's all there is to it. Is this how conspiracy theories mind work? Who knows? Even Windows is complaining. So I need to make the best possible moves from my position. My goal is now clear. October 4th and 5th, 1986. What happened in Rakujima that day? I need to tear off the veil covering the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. What is this? What is this track? Freaking breaker. What is this? Onichan gave me this key, probably because he wants me to put it into a keyhole of his choosing. Phrasing? That's why he keeps showing me these sentimental illusions. But I won't be fooled anymore. I'll open the door I want to open. Certainly, this is more of my kind of tale than the one with Angie who does whatever Butler says. In this case, I really will hand things over to you now. Tell Angie. Tell her where the keyhole that leads to the truth is. Tell me, where is the keyhole? Very well. Have a seat first of all. I will bring it over right now. Then Veterline rose from her rocking chair. My vision seemed to twist and bend. What? Some kind of interference? Why now? Even Veterline's about to show me something important. Is my head getting suddenly... Sorry? I dig my fingernails into my knees, clenching my teeth to keep from losing consciousness. However, the world just kept twisting more and more. Except for the feel of the sofa beneath me, I couldn't sense anything at all. Damn. It really was like a situation when you talk to strangers and they bumped you with drugs or something. Sorry, that was what I was thinking all the time. Huh? It looks like she's here. Who? Oh. The door opened and Hachijo Toya appeared. What's going on? This isn't the world of witches, but the world of humans? I was sitting on a sofa and Wakusa was behind me. There's no need to feel confused. Zerlin and Hachijo Toya are the same being. To hear the difference between the two worlds is a trivial thing. To put it in the world of your lover... To put it in the words of a lover of theater going, it's like having a slightly different background behind the stage. So there was no reason for me to feel hesitant. Should I call you Hachijo this time? How complicated names are, even though both of us still here, just like before. You have to wonder what to call me. True. Call you Zerlin would be a bit rude to you now. To an actor, the name of the parts they play are only temporary. Precisely, child of man. Zerlin? Amakusa's eyes went wide as he wondered what I was suddenly talking about. I ignored him and continued. So, what are you going to show me? As I spoke, my eyes were caught in a heavy-looking object she held under her arm. At a glance, it looked like an encyclopedia with a fancy binding. Do you know what it is? As Federline spoke, she set the heavy object on the table. Yo, it's this. Whatever this is. My first thought was of a grimoire. The heavy book had a mysterious, mystical feeling to it, like something marionette chants might carry around. And the most remarkable feature of it was a very large, sturdy lock that held the chat. Why would someone go so far to keep people from reading a book? Why don't you take it and observe the back? The back? I flicked the heavy book over to my lap. And as soon as I saw it, I gave a small gasp. Eva! Ushiramiya. Ushiramiya Eva! Without a doubt, those words were written here in English letters. What is this? Aunt Eva's diary? Could this be that rumored... Do you know something about this? Just a rumor. They say that President Eva has a secret diary and that she always kept it locked up. They say she took it with her eyes everywhere she went. At least that's what I heard from some of the other bodyguards. A secret diary. And why is it here? It was in the hospital room where Shirami Eva passed away. The diary was hidden behind her bed, so it remained in the room for some time after her death before it was found. It was probably someone who worked for the hospital or else a patient of their family who happened to find it. She's going into aviation nerd got out again. Of course, by this time, there was a huge movement dedicated to the Rikijima's mystery. A locked diary found in the hospital room where Shirami Eva spent the last moments would be absolutely priceless. Meow. The discoverer probably handed it over in secret to one of the witch hunters who would be able to accurately determine its worth. Luckily, the witch hunters got their hands on a book for all noble and upright people. Not content to boorishly destroy the lock and reveal the truth, they simply satisfied themselves with the fact that the truth of the day slumbered just on the other side of a mysterious lock. Thanks to that, Eva's diary was remained undamaged to this very day. It's already known that Natsuhi, wife of Kraus, the eldest son of Kinzo, sealed all of her complaints and repressed feelings by writing them down in a diary, which she treated like a sort of charm. So, Auntie Eva did the same thing? It's possible, at least. Unlocking the hinges of this diary would be a pain, even if you did have a key. It's sealed up tight like a corset. Amakusa was right. This wasn't a diary made to be casually opened and reminisced over. It's probably safe to assume that this diary was used to forget things by writing them down and sealing them away, just like Ushirami and Natsuhi's. And on top of that, Eva brought it with her into the hospital room, then hid it behind the bed without telling anyone about it. Don't tell me that diary contains? Are you saying Auntie Eva wrote down what happened that day? By reading its contents, you will probably learn everything. However, we don't know where the key that unlocked it is. I jumped. Then I looked down at my chest. That's where my brother hung that key. Huh? It's gone! The key is gone! What's wrong, Missy? What key? You've been hanging from my neck the whole time, hasn't it? I never noticed it. They had a key hanging from your neck? I understood almost immediately. In the world of humans, I haven't found the key. The me with a key is on a game board in a world of witches. Make me the me with a key. I'm going to unlock the diary. Literally lifted up a finger, spun around, and the world twisted again. Oh, so in one world, it's only a key, and in the other one, it's only a book? When I returned to the Frizzling study, the key faded back into existence, hanging from my neck. At the same time, the diary on my lap faded out of existence. Okay. How is this gonna work? Where'd the diary go? It should exist somewhere on the game board. Since it was one of the keyholes you are to be given, it must exist somewhere. Well, that's annoying. It is kinda. Didn't you Chen hide it somewhere? Since Butler is trying to make this game between you and him, it probably isn't completely hidden. What do you mean? Even if Butler thinks of it as a king that mustn't be taken, there would be no game unless it existed somewhere on the board. In other words, it's somewhere in Oshirimiya mentioned, or you may have already been given the opportunity to witness it, like how a swindler has already hidden a trap in microscopic letter on the first page of a contract you sign. Oh, if Butler follows the rules of mystery as a game master, clues must be shown, so the choice that leads to Butler's defeat must also be shown. Angie, try to remember, you should have seen Eva's diary already in Butler's world. Are they talking about the coughing, Beatrice's coughing, or something else? In this instant, from the back of my mind, drifted the very first scene of the final game. In the chapel, a book lying on the altar, a book with a lock on it. As soon as I showed interest in this book, my brother suddenly got serious and told me not to touch it. That was Auntie Eva's diary. That's right, Tishirami Eva's diary. The book of a single truth, with the truth of the day written inside it. The book of a single truth. And is the truth really written inside it? After all, there's a chance that it's just something Aunt Eva... I'll give it to you in red truth. Shirami Eva's diary, the book of a single truth, as written within the truth of Rokijima during October 4th and 5th, 1986. Okay, that's nice. There is an answer. Are we gonna actually see it? Black cat scratch marks. Uh-oh. No, they're chilling. What is this trio? The discussion over Bercastell's reasoning gave me getting heated at each of the tables. At some point, each table had started competing to see which could solve it first. Bercastell, haven't Angie and Erika arrived yet? Should be here any moment. Wanna take a bet on who arrives first? I can understand Erika being late, but what about Angie? Just what kind of pit did you toss her into this time? How rude. She was sitting on the sofa sipping tea. Hopefully the sort of tea you're drinking suits Angie's taste. Sorry. Good point. How rude. The tea would suit anyone's taste. Erika would even lick the last drop of my tea from the bottom of a miso soup pot. How does miso soup comes into a picture? Now that you mention her, Erika, this will be a long-awaited reunion. Yeah, come to think of it, can't wait to see how long it takes you to solve Castell's game. This sort of game is what this kid's best at. She'll probably read it from start to finish 3 times and just say the answer right away. Probably. I look forward to seeing you give the correct answer immediately with the smug look on your face. Come now, this is Erika we're talking about. She'll probably put out some twisted logic and say it was possible for someone other than Butler's family. Good point. In fact, I'd like to hear your bow on twisted logic even more than the right answer. Apparently, Butler and Beata were looking forward to their reunion with Erika. They had already dueled with Erika in 2 separate games, but now there was no distraction between foes and allies. Then truly wanted to welcome her in this after-show party as a friend. Still, it's a bit unexpected. What is? You know, it's surprising that you let Angie go this easily. Like it should have Castell and the others couldn't see her face and that this niggard. Is it really so surprising? Of course it is. I thought that, being you torture Butler was one of tough puzzle after another before releasing her, or that you at least tried to give Angie some weird ideas and have her turn the game around in the end. And I thought I knew better than anyone else in the world. So embarrassing that I was wrong. I'm sure it is, but don't worry. You obviously do know me better than anyone else in the world. Yeah, of course. After all, I love and adore understand you more than any other person in the universe. Medita was flustered by Castell's apparently friendly words, which was very rare coming from her. Butler-sama, Pardon me for interrupting your conversation. Angie-sama had returned. Oh, she's back? Great. So, is she okay? It seemed that she was soaked with the rain, but Kumasawa is bringing her a towel now. Then Butler heard this. He breathed a sign of relief. Then he turned to face Castell, showing her forced smile as though apologizing for still suspecting her just a little. Castell showed no reaction and simply continued to a very blank expression with a slight smile. Angie-sama had returned. I'm back. Butler! Angie's back! Angie, wonderful, I was worried. Angie stared at Butler as he dashed towards her with a relieved smile. Her expression seemed somehow indifferent. That Butler looked like he thought I had you hanging by chains in a cave or something. No. I didn't think you go this far. I was just having some tea in the house of one of Costello's friends. It was delicious. Were there any dried plums or miso soup in it? Why would there be? As Angie spoke bluntly, she walked right past her brother and exchanged a few whispered words with Costello. What is it, Butler? Huh? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. If he said that his little sister being called to him had left him feeling forlorn, Beata would either laugh at him or scratch him. After all, Angie was a girl at a tender age. She might be in a bad mood for a reason that a man like him couldn't understand. Taking a note of his, and having satisfied himself that Angie was okay, he made to walk away. Butler, Angie's calling for you. Huh? Oh, sorry. I've been trying to get your attention for a while. Don't ignore me. I wasn't really ignoring you. What's going on with you, anyway? You look like you're in a bad mood for a while now. I imagined Costello would give you some strange drink and pretended it was just a rare sort of black tea. I have no business with you. Back off for a bit, would you? I want to talk to Onichin alone. Come, I may not look it, but I am a wife of a territory lord. When it comes to Butler, I'm far more... Sir Beato, would you mind leaving us for a bit? By now, Butler had realized that Angie's issue was more than just a slight bad mood. Beato puffed out her cheek as though she wanted to say something back. However, she just let out a sign and walked away. Is this okay? It is. After all, this game is between me and you, right? I'm the player. You the game master. No matter how many pieces get between us, in the end, it's still a direct battle between you and me. Well, it's true that I'm a game master, but it's not like I'm fighting against you or anything. This final game was held so you could be invited to the Rokijima of 1986. Games are played to decide who wins and who loses. It's not called a game unless you have foes and allies. Don't try to trick me. What are you talking about, all of a sudden? You had me totally fooled. At first I actually thought you'd take me to the day in 1986, but it wasn't true. This has all been a farce you created, hasn't it? You're using the sentimental tale to dodge the issue and leave me confused. You're trying to chase me out into a lonely future with nothing but a look for happiness as a parting gift. There's just one thing I've been after since the beginning. What happened on Rokijima that day? The only answer you gave me was this game. The sentimental party of illusions. You answered my questions beyond clear at this point. I want the truth, and you have no intention of telling me. Angel, listen, you've got it wrong. Don't try to trick me. I know how this game is a final fight between me and you. Me searching for the truth of this day, and you trying to hide this truth from me behind the illusion. It's exactly the same. The setup was no different than those fights between you and Beato. I wouldn't have been much longer before I was chased out of the game board with everything still vague and fuzzy because of you. Well, sorry, but I've already figured out that this game is a battle. Don't think you will trick me so easy anymore. And just shouting tore apart the peaceful atmosphere. The family members and the residents of Fantasy gulped and watched the scene, wondering what was going on. Better tried to run out to Butler, but he motioned her to stay back. What is it you want? There's only one thing I've ever wanted. The truce of Rokijima of 1986. That's all I'm looking for. The truce is sealed within the cat box. It can be reached by someone outside the cat box like you. That's why you're trying to palm me off with a sentimental illusion? Yeah, this is an illusion. However, I wanted you to remember this fun atmosphere, the harmony with your family. It's not about what happened on this island on that day. I wanted you to remember the warmth of these family conferences, a warmth you forgot about. It's just an illusion you're trying to impose on me. I reject that and deny it completely. The truth of 1986 doesn't exist. The cat box is empty inside. You're looking for something that isn't here. I won't be tricked anymore. The truth of this day does exist. It was written down by the sole survivor and preserved of this very day. But the expression faltered for just an instant, and Angie didn't miss it. So he was hiding it after all. Oni-chan has been hiding the book of a single truth from me. I like the irony of Angie claiming, I don't want to be on the present, I want to go back in 1986 and be with everyone, and then she gets, no, this isn't the truth. Why are you mocking me? Then being told the truth is on the present, where Eva Zero is. No, I want to battle Butler. Yep. Woman, am I right? I'm sorry. Oh. -2. The Eva. For this first time since your death, I'd like to express my gratitude. Because you wrote down what happened on this day, you give me one last chance to learn the truth. Angie, you have to listen to me. Everything I wrote in this diary is nonsense, so it doesn't... There's no point trying to deceive me. Your diary was the truth of that day written on it. It's already been proven with the red truth. Absurd. Who could possibly use the red truth besides Butler, the game master? It's Aurora, isn't it? That's right. The Book of a Single Truth exists in 1998, the world of the future. Who else could perform the crucial role of confirming its contents with the red truth? I heard everything from Bercastel. I've been fooled by you long ago. I don't want some sentimental illusion. I want the real truth. And no matter how hard you try to cover it up in 1986, I can expose it in 1998. After all, you are the Beatrice of 1986, Oni-chan, and I'm the Beatrice of 1988. No, the lightning strikes. Oh! A cyclone rose up around Angie. It was golden swirl of gold butterflies, just like the golden witch Beatrice. Yo. I'm Angie Beatrice of 1998, the final golden witch, magical girl transformation. No witch of the past can defeat the witch of the future, witch. The cyclone of gold broke apart as the gold leaves scattered around the room. The final witch who would inherit Beatrice's name in the future appeared. Angie Beatrice. You are the old golden and endless witch. I'm not. I'm the witch of a gold and truth. No illusion can stand in my way. Your buzzering party is over, Oni-chan. Boring party, sorry. Now it's time for my party to start. I have ready the game to liven things up. You're up, Antiva. Huh? When you invited your little sister to your illusion party so she could make amends with your dead family, and she transforms into a magical witch girl and starting disappearing from place to place and yelling at everybody. Well, when you snapped your fingers, she vanished among the swirl of gold butterflies. In your place in the middle of a cyclone, a girl wearing a dress appeared, bowing modestly. Is this allowed? For the two of them to be in the same place at the same time? Beatrice is like Beatrice's Pokemon or something. Sorry. That's pretty rude, you know? Inviting everyone to the party except me? You're Eva! The sole survivor of Rokijima, in the Witch of the Future, the golden endless witch from 1986 to 1998. Okay. In the world of the future, Battlercoon, your sappy illusion is more fragile than a flake of snow on a lake. Okay, let's have some fun! Come, try to remember, all of you. Remember your endless theory making. When Eva held her hand to the heavens, light gathered here and took a form of a bottle. Yes, a bottle. A glass bottle with no label. There was no alcohol inside. Still within it was a fragment that let out a pale, sinister light. I just imagine Angie dreaming of this, meanwhile in the real world she's just sleeping with her, sometimes randomly screaming, "Damn it, Butler! Butler, this is bad!" She must not smash the bottle. Genie appeared? What's gonna happen? It's showtime! The bottle was slammed against the floor and smashed into pieces. As soon as the... What is this? Truck. As soon as the fragment within it touched the outside air, it flashed white and burst. At first it seemed that nothing had happened. However, Eva grinned at them before becoming a cloud of butterflies and vanishing. Come to think of it, Bracastella was gone as well. What did she do? It was probably a fragment she brought back from her world of the future. Perhaps we could call it the contents of a cat box in the future. So, what does it mean? What now? At this moment, they heard a tremendous hiss. It was as though large chunks of hail had started falling everywhere. An earthquake accompanied that noise, and the whole mansion groaned. Dust began to fall from the ceiling. At the same time, it seemed as though the curtain-covered windows glowed in a pale light. What on earth is going on? Curie, look outside! What the hell is that? Everyone rushed to the window in response to her voice. Of course, Butler and Beato went too. What the hell? Then they drew the curtains, looked at the scene outside, and were stunned into silence. How beautiful! Kinza's words spoke as a first impression felt by all of those who looked outside the window. Not all beauty is... Banning? They always say that beauty has thorns, Nia. Though everyone found the scene beautiful, it gave them all ominous feeling. Ah yes, blue crap of the night. Outside the window, countless small objects, crystal fragments glowing pale blue, leaves turnabout everywhere like falling hail. The word fantastical perfectly summed up the scene that lay before them in a glowing rose garden. Just now I saw something more. Move over here. Move? Hey, is there someone over here? Wait, huh? A person just grew out of the glowing fragment. Crystal people? What's going on? 7 Sets of Purgatory, battle formation. With those words of Lucifer's, everyone finally realized that they were surrounded by danger. But it is a danger. Oh, it's just a goat guy, okay. One by one, the countless fragments shook and burst. The large dagger bodies rose up from inside each. They were giants with goat heads. Oh, they're giants now, okay. One after another, they appeared from the insides of broken fragments. Why are they here? Just to yap? The realization that countless fragments lying all over the rose garden were responsible for the blue glow covering the entire area sent a wave of cold terror rushing all over all present. 45! Wide area surveillance! My radar field was white! We're either being jammed or the vast number of reading is making a count of any numbers impossible. Even as she said this, the glowing rose garden outside the window was filling with giant goats. The fragments carrying the goats weren't just in the rose garden, they were spread evenly across the entire island. Not just the rose garden, but the entire area around the mansion had to be half covered with goats by now. They were in the danger zone, starts playing music. Danger zone. For your attention. Know that we are completely surrounded. Yeah, we noticed. What you'll do, butler? Only one thing to do with an invited guest, and then show them the door. Who are these people? I'm guessing those aren't your minions, right, Beato? The goats form The goat forms they hold are probably just imitation of the pieces on the game board. They aren't Richie's or Leon minions, this is something worse. I see. Manifestation of the messages was in the bottles. Messages was in the bottles? Beato message bottles? No. These fragments are delusions from the people of the future. This is so annoying, they're so anime battle-ish. What are they doing? Hope you're well. Thank you. Hope you're well too. Hello. Endless possibilities are hidden within the cat box. Because of that, those outside the box can imagine the insides to be any one of the infinite numbers of things. It would seem those endless delusions are the true nature of those creatures. What will those goats do to us, I wonder? It doesn't look like they're coming to give us a handshake and pat in the back. Those people. Their love lives, making up and passing around stories, imagining the tragedies that might have unfolded for us on this island. They found it so interesting they never talked about the truth, that they keep on creating tragedies one after another for their own enjoyment. I see. So they're fragments of a future containing delusions about the 1986 cat box. In the future world, any and all of the interpretation can and do exist. Unless we deny them, each will be able to call their own view the truth, and they will remain on this island. Little fix we're in! Look like we're surrounded and fighting for our lives! So, what was the final battle? Butler, giant goats? It's hard to explain. What are they doing? They're eating! They're eating something! What the fuck are they eating? They eating the roses? The screaming crowd of goats was bustily doing something. If you look closely, you could see them sticking their hands into the rose bushes and munching away. And it wasn't just the rose bushes. Light poles, the bricks of the flower beds, and even the stone pavement itself, they were biting all of it. Almost as if they were trying to eat up the whole island. Nice. No, they aren't just eating. If they aren't eating, then what are they doing? What they're doing is not eating. They are eroding, shaving away the game board itself. They're eating the game board? Me eating the game board? Smart kid who can't understand why am I winning? This is legitimately that meme. In the future world, everyone believes that we were swallowed up by the tragedy today. That's why they won't accept the truth where we enjoy ourselves in peace. Jesus. Truths of the past are inferior to the truths of the future. The merciless future fangs and jaw of those goats refuse to accept our truth and are eroding it, replacing it with the truth they wish to see. Damn it! That's our truth. It's not for those people in the future who have nothing to do with us anyway to write as they please. What the hell is this? The garden outside the window was now filled with too many goats to count, all chewing away. The repulsive scene stole the words from everyone's lips. They weren't just stunned into silence. There's just no point in making a fuss and letting the goats know for no reason. The point is letting them know that they are plenty of prey waiting in a bright warm room. Prey that was softer and more satisfying to chew than roses or bricks. That's goat here, he's looking at us. Silence, don't make a fuss. It's coming this way. Isn't this bad? I hate this. They saw one of the newly born goats head slowly towards the window. There was already a huge swarm of them in the garden, so it was no surprise then when one of them looked around for a new prey, it would see the light from this window. We have 2 hours, let's take a break. 5 minutes? 5 minutes, be right back. Okay? Okay. Pum pum. Oh, also gonna slowly repeat myself, but yeah, I made a dumb decision of making a video with one of your streams, puzzle stream. If you don't like it or want to remove, please let me know. Like an edit? Well, nah, do whatever you want. I'm kind of honored. Thank you. Or, my face grown red. Oh no, no, well, I was cold before, but now my face is red. So feels good. Drink water. Sorry. Okay. Umineko. 99 hours. We're so close to greatness. We're so close. Its immense eerie body slowly approached. As it grew closer, they would finally see its disturbing form clearly, their eyes blazing, and yet were still cold, ruthless, and reptilian. Only another few hours? I hope. The cruel fangs and jaw could tear apart and crush anything. Any fangs that could chew through bricks would harshly have a problem chewing through humans. Its massive body had to be taller than the windows themselves, and it was slumbering towards the window. This window isn't made out of a special bulletproof glass by any chance, is it? I doubt even bulletproof glass would stop that thing. Wow, it's coming, it's running towards us. For your attention, know that this window shall not be breached. The power of Cornelia's seal, I love this song. The power of Cornelia's seal formed a shield around the glass. The goat was blown back, unable even to touch the glass because of this power. Its weight made the earth tremble. They could feel that clearly, even inside. But that tremor had also drawn the attention of the nearby goats. The pack of goats started shuffling closer, and then realizing that they were in a competition of this new prey, the pack quickly broke into thundering change. Charge? It is charge. The window protected by Cornelia's seal would probably be safe. However, there were many windows in the great hall. For the first time... What is this song? For the first time, those windows became a source of terror instead of sunlight and a lovely view. Disney as soundtrack song. Gertrude. For your attention, know that this window shall not be breached. Gertrude sealed another window. The goats trying to break in through that one were thrown back. But at the same time, those inside the building heard the terrible crash of a third window being shattered. I can imagine Mickey Mouse just running around like in Fantasia. Scattering fragments of glass everywhere, and massive goats broke through the window frame and entered the building. Yo! It is a huge goat. Much bigger than Gota. Get back! Everyone get back! Massive fucking ties, Jesus. First Twilight, sacrifice the 6. Those words really were coming from the goat's mouth, along with a steaming foul breath. However, it didn't get a chance to say any more. Forehead, neck, shoulder, chest, side, gut, knee, the stakes of the 7 sisters buried themselves in deep, one after another. What rough, unappetizing flesh for piercing. I just couldn't bear to gobble up any more of these. Yeah, you'd have to. Several other windows shattered one after another, and goats squeezed their way in through the window frames. Their mouths were still stuffed with the bread they had just been snacking on. Each time they chewed made gushly sound like bones being crushed. Now it's gonna be like crunching sounds, like... Okay. I'm not gonna make crunching sounds. We will repel them. Chester troops, prepare for a close-range combat. Hold up. You start firing away and we'll have all other goats coming to join the party. Let's fall back for a second floor. If we can seal the staircase, they'll buy us some time. Everyone, upstairs! Hurry! Who knew that the end of umineko would end in a goat apocalypse? Goat apocalypse. Them. After snuffing noisily as though scanning the smell around them, the goats started chewing on that. Hold on, I drink some water. The goats started chewing on whatever chairs, tables, or curtains were close by. The goats would chew anything to bits as long as it was near them. If the others were careful not to attack the goats' attention, they would be able to escape from this place. The humans ran on ahead towards the second floor where the fantasy creatures who were used to fighting guarded the rear. The goats were completely absorbed by their all-consuming feasts in the hell in the hole. Even the portrait of Beatrice, which might have been called the symbol of the Holy Shiremia family, now been brutally chewed up. What the hell? You didn't create this art to destroy it. Butler, the humans have all taken refuge on the second floor. Good. Manor, seal all the stairs. Gertrude and Cornelia will handle it. However, they need more time. Loud beating sounds, whether they would be called knocking, was unclear, and sound of shattering glass could be heard from all parts of the mansion. Well now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for work. So this is the purgatory, right here. Let's go, you love lives. Tonight, it's all you can eat. Sister troops, halt all external tasks, cancel automatic updates, accept no data, take no prisoners. As Svein Junkrau of the 7th District, with the Territory Lord's order, carry out your duty. I lend a hand. Leon, you're in the way. Go up the second floor. But Will! Leave this to us and go. You have your own job to do. Protect your family. I understand. Everyone, stay safe. The program is dealing with hundreds of assets from the art team. This is what you get. Vengeance is mine as they eat all the game assets. The mansion was filled with the sounds of bashing, crushing, smashing, and chewing. The goats in their wave of destruction would draw steadily closer. Lord Butler, Gertrude and Cornelia have finished sealing the other staircases. The large staircase here is the only one that remains. The other staircases are tiny, so they went fast. On the other hand, this staircase is huge. Looks like you'll have to hands full buying time. What? Remedelta spoke as though it was someone else's problem. It only took her glancing at her face to see she had no intentions of letting a hand. What a bitch. Even so, Beata didn't scold her. This was a game between Butler and Angie. Remedelta was only a theater-goer who had been invited. Don't think badly of me. Even if I'll die, even I die if I turn apart by nothingness. Sorry, but I think I'd stuck to be an observer. That's what you always been, though it's a shame that we can't ask for your help. Nah, she's being nice, doesn't want to steal our show. Sure, let's say that's the reason. As a voyager wish, Remedelta could retreat from the game board of Butlers if she wanted to. In other words, she was the only one who wasn't in trouble now. See you later. I think I'll watch the game between you and Burns till the dead. Till the end, I'll be rooting for you. As you mentioned popcorn? Of course! I think I'll have some soy sauce, butter flavor today. Yo! Soy sauce popcorn would be good. Remedelta vanished to the pub. As soon as she did, a black hole opened in the midair and Gab fell out of it. Butler, Richie, could you come here for a second? You should probably see this. Right now? Yes. Let's go. Everyone, we are counting on you to hold this position. When Gab snapped your fingers, a large hole opened up under Butler and Beata, swallowing them both. When it spat them back out again, they were in the inky black sky. Both of them were floating in the night sky. Oh, you can see mansions from... Really? They could see Rokijima far beneath them. And as soon as they realized this, they shrugged. This is... It It's not a crowd, it's a sea. It was no longer a crowd of goats, but an entire sea on them. Just as Rokijima poked out from the ocean, the mansion was now poking out from the sea of goats. Oh, it's not a literal sea. People in the future really are amazing. Just how many of them have imagined the tragedy of this island? They are nothing more than a worthless drivel from outside the cat box. Let's clean this place up. Now look over here. It's hard to tell, but look at the shoreline. The shoreline? It's easier to see near the harbor. Look closely. See it? Don't tell me... Yeah, you're probably right, Oilan voice. They're eating it. Eating the whole island. They're looking at it from above and they see like chewing marks on the island from all the goats. As if it's an apple. Come, try to remember fragments of a future. Why don't you just chew up all the stenches, all the illusion, all the fantasy forever? As Iwa yelled this to the heavens hovering above the raging sea, hail fell down with a pale glow. Each one of the bottle was no label and a fragment inside. They poured into the island, smashing into bits and scattering the fragments inside them everywhere. Every now and then, one of those fragments would split in two and then split in two again, and every single one of those fragments burst and gave birth to a massive goat. Why is she doing this? To say it was like bamboo sprouts springing up after the rain would be vast understatement. The goats withered about like bubbling, boiling water in a pot. They ate away at everything they saw. They didn't just eat the harbor, but the trees and rocks, the entire coastline itself. Hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of goats continued to eat. They were chewing away at every bit of Rokijima of the final game that Butler had prepared. Too bad, Butler-kun! The future wants a strategy on this island. Even Angie wants a truce. We'll just chew up all the ostentation, illusion, and fantasy for them. By now, Butler and the others had to admit it. The future wanted a strategy. Even if the truth of this island has been gentle, peaceful thing, the future didn't want that. The truth they wanted was painting over the past. The past is such a fragile thing. Even the cat box is being chewed apart. Just who are these people? Are they really so determined to throw us into a tragedy? That's all I wanted to show you. Hopefully it'll be useful for making a strategic decision. This is like meta, right? This is like, oh, the players of this game want the game to end tragically? Maybe... And Ryukishi kinda poking fun them? Just poking at them, maybe not fun. How many... Oh, I already read this one. or didn't I? How many people imagine the end of this family, Beato? They all worthless as we read emotional damage. Yeah, thanks. Thanks to that, I feel just awful now. And let's go to the study next, if you don't mind. It's like Undertale, you know? When people who played Undertale, the characters would directly tell the player that you already saw all of this and you don't need to come back, you know? Like this Age Boomer guy video where he pointed that out. Sorry. Then let's go to the study next, if you don't mind. The goldsmith wants to talk to you. Gab snapped your fingers, and another black hole swallowed them up and spat them out in the study. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow, Gob, you're gonna drop me, at least do it in the bed. Grandfather, we're in trouble. There is absolutely nowhere left to go. I know. And even waiting out in a storm from here is not an option. Renov and the others should be able to buy us some time, but that's all. They just holed up in the mansion and fought from here. It would only be a matter of time before the swarm of goats got them. Trying to repel a few of the goats who barged into the mansion would be like using a cup of a bale water from the boat with a hole in it. We would fight defensively for a while, but then it would only be a matter of time. We need to think of something while we fight. Can we escape? Where to? Is there any way for us to leave the game board? Outside the game board is outside our territory. Only a Voyager witch could leave it. Only Bercastel and Badelta could do it. However, there was no way Bercastel would help. Even though Badelta was already announced that she would be an observer instead of lending a hand. So there is nowhere left to run. Now there's just one place. Where? The Golden Land. I see. Is this our only option now? Indeed, the Golden Land is the most impenetrable place on this game board. If we wish to escape, it's that or nothing. These things are eating the cat box itself. For all we know, at any moment, they could start chewing away the Golden Land as well. What should we do, Butler? Not hesitate. We are retiring. Retreating? We're retreating. If we take too long to make a decision, even that road will be closing to us. Let's evacuate, everyone. How can we open the door to the Golden Land? I just have to open it. However, an immense cloud of anti-magic toxin is emanating from the crowd of goats. It will take some time to open the door. So we only got to protect this study with our lives until the doors open. Just have to keep doing what we've been doing. There's one more problem. The door of the Golden Land cannot be shut unless two people close it from the outside. It's like Kingdom Hearts! Sorry. Two from the outside? What do you mean? Riku, you need to close the door from the inside. As soon as he said this, Butler realized this must be an agreement made between the three witches who are one. Normally, there is no need to go to the trouble of shutting the door. We can't do this time, though. Only you and Beata can fulfill the role of shutting the door. Me, the Territory Lord, and Beata. It does seem to be safest choice. Indeed, it's just the two of us. We might be able to protect ourselves. Okay, open the door. You can just open the door to the Golden Land anytime. Beata waved her pipe, leaving a golden trail behind as she sliced the air vertically. Then the gap of the door to the Golden Land appeared. It looked like nothing more than a thin golden string hanging from the ceiling. If you look closely, you could see that the string was getting thicker very slowly. The door to the Golden Land certainly was opening, but so slowly that you couldn't even tell if you weren't careful. At this rate, it would probably take quite some time before it grew big enough to let a person through. Grandfather Gav will need you to be our inner line of defense. Can't believe the door to the Golden Land is opening slowly. Like, what is this? Yes, this may be the goats climbing up the outer walls. Just fake tension. Ah, very well. My rifle is hungry for some prey. Oh, he went crazy. Yay, another one! Already using dialogue command script state. Something is wonky at line blah blah blah. Okay. Are we... Is game getting shut down? Yep. Cool. Clap, clap, clap. It's the same shit that happened last time. I love it. Totally awesome. Why is it so clunky? Oh, that's why you oil the hinges on the doors. Shaking my head. Oh shit, we need to... Oh, sorry. We need to... When was the last time I saved? On the fucking puzzle! Oh, it's totally my fault. I should have saved on the break or something. Sorry. Sorry. Uh-huh. It just takes 10 minutes to go here or something. Identify culprits. Dun dun dun. Confirm selection. The emulator can handle that many goats. It's in the emulator. True! What the hell? Truly is meta. Cool. Now I need to wait for all of this. Isn't this annoying? Where's Oh, actually, This bitch, what's her name? I'm saying bitch lovingly. What's her name? Federica. Federica Bercastel. She never show up at a dinner, right? It was only Angie, and there was no Frederica. Yep, Frederica. I remember it. She never showed up to the dinner, which is suspicious. Wasn't they waiting for her? Yeah, she was here, but then she wasn't anymore. Was she? Flashing lights, cool. Love them. And she just got transported from that scene to this scene, which is funny. Erica shows up for a while, then I say, and that's not fan service for one chapter. What the hell? It's not fan service. She's really important to the plot. She's important to me. Sorry. She is fan service character. We need to save before game crashes again somewhere later. Maybe with invasion. I wish we could read Umineko in this speed. That would be nice. And waste so much time on yapping. I started reading this book that's called And Then There Went On by Agatha Christie. And must I tell you, Umineko is so much fucking better. Umineko is just more... has better everything. I mean, I didn't finish it. Maybe the mystery is good, which I highly doubt. Umineko is also less problematic in every way. I mean, relatively. How is this gonna end? What are we gonna do now after Goat's gonna eat all of the island? Just, go to Golden Land and then what? And I thought we were gonna have like a trial, but with Angie as our opponent now, but no? Isn't it dumb to just try to destroy all the island now? Wasn't Eva Beatrice supposed to be we should save here somewhere? Why is Eva Beatrice even like on Angie's side to begin with? Oh, we on a 10th page of saves. That's nice. What does it even mean? Dramatic music. My favorite song. Why did they make it this way? That's crazy. The composer for Mineko, maybe it's multiple composers, maybe it's more than one, sometimes just went really hard, for no reason at all. I mean, it is combination battle. This song can be a like final battle theme of some boss in action game. Oh, we're close, right? No, it's a study. We got... Let's save again. We're getting close. And... we need to see a Dirt of Golden Land, yep. Oh! Okay, this time I just went right through it. This is the one, right? Very well, my rifle is hungry for some prey. I remember this, and this will be fun dropping those things into the abyss. A giant was sliced at an angle, split into parts, and fell onto the floor, showering it with a filthy dark blood and guts. Nice. Splendidly done. I'll let you have the next one. Okay, now it's fine. Now it even didn't show any problem with it. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I was skipping a line. The lesson we should learn here is to save more often. Countless massive goats which had forced their way in from rooms and windows all across the mansion wander about in search of something to chew. Several of the other goats noticed a group of people huddled around the staircase and lumbered closer, but they were pulverized by merciless attacks. Renov's shields easily halted the changing of the goats, and Virgilia's magic spread pinned. Hold on. I need to redo this. Nope. Now we're good. As an old white person say, quick save or no save. No shields easily halted the changing of the ghosts, and Virgilia's magic spears pinned the giants against the wall. Lauren Will's blades also sliced the goats effortlessly in two. The pinpoint strikes of the 7 stakes of purgatory could pierce the vitals and finish off any opponent, no matter how large. The Chester sisters were holding their own too. The shot from the high-caliber firearms blasted so many goats to bits that you couldn't count the kills with both hands. They would have been more than a match for a limited number of opponents. However, they weren't just up against a crowd, but entire sea. It's like a pebble trying to face the approaching waves of a stormy sea. They're going crazy here. Horrendous gun barrel replacement, requiring cover from the purgatory troops. You run out of bullets and you're nothing but rabbits. Lame. I don't want to hear it from a bunch of 7 paperweights. They can only kill one person at a time now. Yeah, keep them coming. Don't let us get bored. The hall was filled with the corpses of massive goats. As if in fear for the sight, the goats that came in one after another formed a wall, keeping their distance. Perhaps they think they know much for us. I wish this was true, but it seemed to be a little more than wishful thinking. What are those guys doing? They're looking at us and whispering to each other. Apparently they have enough intelligence to talk with each other and cooperate. The goats were surrounding them at a distance and whispering at each other. Then they nodded at each other, though deciding something, and then the whole group stirred. What are they doing? Can't believe that one of the most interesting and intriguing important parts of a story was revealed as an afterthought of a fucking riddle. And now we're wasting time on anime battles, literally. Like, huh? One of the bunnies, okay. Got the kill streak, new coming, though I guess. Setting bombs in the Golden Land would also do this. Yes. Oh, I hope there's no bombs in the Golden Land. What are they doing? That's what I'm saying. What are they doing? It almost looks like they're lining up the different orders. The enemy is charging its formation. It appears the individual with the greater destructive power are being gathered in the front lines. And so what? Let's go. Yes, Inesima. Wait, something's wrong. Lucifer took an aim, one of them going in his forehead. The other 6 sisters followed her lead, trying to pierce the vital organs all over the creature's body. However, there was no sign of piercing flesh. The 7 sisters from Purgatory were knocking back, unable to cause even the smallest wound. What? What just happened? Those guys are talking about something. The goats kept whispering the same thing over and over as they slowly approached the 7 sisters. All of them whispered anonymously. All fantasy is fictional. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory, a personification of stakes of a ceremony and sacrifices, mere creatures of fantasy. Yo, they know. They know, but we're not saying this because we like these characters. They're actually paperweights. They're actually paperweights. As he whispered curses that denied the Seven Sisters' existence, the goats lumbered closer. Giant goats and the characters in China anime battle me. I just wanted to see Erika and Butler interact again, and to know what the pink whitish red food is on the tables on the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Get back, Purgatory troops! Oh, my back hurts. Why does it hurt? We'll cover you. It's the time you learn the lesson, goats. The golden bows of the Chester troops moved down the wall of goats with a shower of bright golden bullets. Some of the goats were torn to pieces, but some of them never completely unaffected. Then the goats who were injured all whispered at once. The Chester sisters, Imperial Guards, were married rabbit dolls as their vessels. They actually rabbit dolls, my imagination, fantasy, fictional beings. Okay, I mean, we kinda knew this before, so it's not that important. All of the crimes can be explained by mystery. All fantasy is irrelevant. Literally me. Literally me. He's literally me. Look like we've got lots of people who won't accept the existence of magic. And that means no magical attacks will have any effect on them. Does it mean that all of our attacks will be completely useless? Endless 9, yeah. They don't accept that we exist. Our attacks can't hurt them, yeah. My favorite character. Is this possible? We'll have to test it. Renov stepped forward, stamped the floor twice, and a red barrier rose up in front of him. The crowd of goats dashed into it with a terrifying force. While some goats were blown away by it, several of them slipped right through the magical barrier. Renov is a creature of magic, a creature of fiction. Genji is Renov's vessel, an imaginary version of Genji. Oh, they know. I see, so even my attacks will not affect some of them. There was no longer any point in Virgilia's trying her own magic spear. Some of the goats might also have decided that her existence was fictional as well, and she would no longer be able to hurt them. All of these great demons, great witches, high-level furniture and weapons were overcome with fear of the crowd that was surrounded them, a crowd that would not be affected by any of their attacks. What are we going to do? We'll keep fighting until the end. You do not have permission to die in battle. Fantasy is all fiction. Fantasy is all fiction. Fantasy is all fiction. I get it. A shriek from one of the goats became a signal for the wall of them to break. They pushed forward with gaping mouths and full breaths, each trying to reach their prey first, trying to return this fictional creature to nothingness. Excuse me? My breath is not full. Look out! Virgilia leaped in front of and held several of the stake sisters who had fallen in the butts, overpowered by ferocity of the approaching goats. However, even Virgilia was a fictional creature to these goats. They could chew through her like a cotton candy. Cool. Madam, quickly! Renaud threw himself at the outcoming goats. Even he would be chewed apart easily. Knowing this, Renaud leaped forward. Even if my magic is no longer functions, I'm still the fiercely passionate and loyal man I always was. And furthermore, didn't you expect that I would simply sit by and watch a lady die? Renov is a fantasy. Renov is a fantasy. Renov slammed his right wrist into the side of a goat's face. As soon as he pulled back, he swung his left leg onto the goat's gut, then spun around in a reverse roundhouse and cut the goat again. Renaud knew he could do less damage than a mosquito bite against those who didn't accept his existence. This was what it meant to face an anti-magic defense of an endless 9. Renaud is a fantasy, a fiction, an illusion. The goat swung its long, log-like fist with a sound like a storm. Not dodged by hair. If he had been an instant slower, the massive arm would have crushed his head like glass. Renaud, stop him! Run! I, Renault, cannot help but rise to the challenge when I see a lady in pinch. A bad habit of mine. Renault grinned and tried to act off. Tried. He had already abandoned everything. There was nothing you could... Oh, I need to go. Sorry.